going on, guys? Welcome to another edition of Set It Off Sunday. It's your boy Joshua Silva with my man Lawrence Winslow.
What's good?
We're going to have a great conversation about making money because, I mean, let's face it, the world is changing. Everybody's concerned with finances, so we need to get to it.
Because there is another way. I know what it feels like to be a fraud. I know what it is to feel uncertain. I know what it is to be afraid. And I also know none of those feelings are my true reality. There is another way.
Set It Off Sunday.
So I want us to address the good people out there, and I want to talk about making side money. And I am going to write while I talk because I'm a visual guy. I think that people out there are visual learners for the most part, especially with social media. Okay, so here's what I've noticed in my time of coaching, educating people, and helping them do the things they love and get out of financial distress. I noticed that so many people want to skip steps when it comes to making money. Everybody thinks that they can build a business, which I personally don't think that everybody can build a brick and mortar business, but I believe that everybody has a particular talent or some sort of skill set that they can use to make an additional $500 to $2,000 a month to add to their income. So here's my thing. When I sit down with somebody and they say, I want to make extra money, or they say, I want to start my own business, before I even get them to the process of where they're looking to start their own business, after a conversation and feeling where they're at, my first go-to is, let's see if you can just make money. Let's see if you can establish an additional source of income beyond what you're already doing. And there are so many ways that you can make additional money nowadays. I wanted to take the time here to discuss some of those ways and some of the things that people are doing right now, even with what's going on with the coronavirus and this pandemic. People are still making extra money. They're still making side income. But, I'm a forward thinker. We're going to get past all this. And I personally believe that now is a good time for anybody who's struggling or anybody who maybe wasn't living the ideal lifestyle that they were living before all this, to take this time to start educating themselves, start developing, start growing, and start figuring out a way to create additional income. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So I'm going to go real basic, and then from basic we'll go into maybe some out-of-the-box things that you could do if you were just a regular Joe Schmo or just a person on the street to generate extra income. So the first one is Uber. Now, I've done my research on Uber. I've seen how it works, the whole 9 yards. I've experienced Uber. I think Uber is a great way for somebody to generate income on the side. If you're in the cities, metropolitan areas, and you can make a whole paycheck. But, Uber nowadays is something so simple that you can go an hour and a half out there. If you have a great personality and the ability to conversate with people with tips and, and a little bit of elbow grease, you can make $40-$50 a day doing Uber. That's an extra $200 a week. That's an extra $800 a month that goes to your bottom line. So you can still work a full-time job. You can do the Uber thing, and you could, pay your rent, essentially, with Uber.
Before you go any further with that, though,
Yep.
What's the criteria to drive for Uber as far as the type of car and the year of the car? Because not everybody can drive Uber because of stipulations with that. So explain that to the people so they know.
So with Uber, I don't know all the exact requirements, but of course you got to have a clean driving record. Your car has to be up to date as far as inspection, registration, all that great stuff. In Massachusetts, is the TNC report that you have to do, which is a special inspection that they do to make sure like the AC works, power windows work, all the luxuries work.
And also has to be a 4-door vehicle, right?
4-door vehicle, exactly right. I mean, there's a lot of this, and that's I'm glad you brought. So Uber is a good idea if you meet the requirements. And right now, I know there's a lot of people that don't want additional people in their cars. I believe there's a setting where you could just do Uber Eats. And again, if you look at the situation right now, you can't go into a restaurant to eat.
Right.
So everybody's ordering out.
Right.
So you're gonna make some money doing Uber Eats.
And to add to that, I mean, I know a lot of people who like don't want to cook every day. So Uber Eats is a good option because those people don't want to eat out a few times a week. So that fashion is there for you guys. Uber Eats is something that I'm actually looking into myself because I mean, like I said, I mean, I work every day and I come home and I'm idle for a couple of hours. Why not take that time to deliver food to people that can't get out like that? You know what I'm saying? So Uber Eats is a good option.
Now, in our show notes, I'm going to put a link to an article that I read where there's a gentleman who he drove Uber, did Uber Eats, did the regular Uber, but also had his own side business, and he used the opportunity of spending time with customers from Uber in his car to promote his business. And the way that he did it, it wasn't a sleazy sales pitch like, "Hey, check out my product, check out my product." It was just in conversation, who he is, what he's about, and he was able to literally generate, hundreds of thousands of dollars for his own business while driving Uber. So to me, that's the asterisk with Uber is it's not just, oh, I can make some extra money. If you are doing something in addition to, if you're consulting, if you have a nail business, if you have a hair business, if you have if you make pocketbooks, whatever it is, you can use that time that you're driving around, different people to talk about your business. And there's a specific way to do it. And if people really want us to go into that, I absolutely will. But I'm going to drop an article in the links that'll kind of help shed some light on that. I thought it was brilliant the way this guy did this.
I read that same article, and also it comes on what you said before about having a skill set to talk to people and communicate. You can build a great network by doing that because you're able to talk to people one-on-one. For that time frame, and you can hone your skills by doing that. So when you leave the Uber, you go back to your business. Now you're getting, on the job training. You know what I'm saying? Talking to people, communicating, things like that. You know what I mean? So
absolutely
it's it's on the job. Literally on the job training.
Exactly what it is.
So,
the second one I'm going to go into is junk removal, and I love junk removal because it's. So I own a junk removal company. I've been doing junk removal for a long, long time. And it's not as easy as everybody thinks when you start getting into owning, 20-yard dump trucks and having 8 employees. But if you do your research and you do the math, you can get a very, very small liability policy, own a pickup truck, and you can do small junk removal jobs, for your local community. You can do mattress removals. You can do small garage cleanups. You can develop a great relationship with the local dumpster guy and work that way. You have to be a little creative to get into this space, but I personally believe that anybody that has an entrepreneurial spirit, it's a very good space to get into. You're not going to be able to compete right away with some of the larger companies, but if you have a great personality, if you're strong, and if you are able to network, you could definitely create a small junk removal company that allow you to make anywhere from extra $500 to $1,000 a month, and not really working too hard. You're gonna work hard, but it doesn't have to be hugely strenuous. Now, again, the ups in this is that when you play small and you're in that the little niche part, your disposal's not that crazy. Your overhead's really not that high. You're running pretty much your whole entire business out of the house, and you're able to pick and choose the jobs that you want to do. But it does involve some research. You do have to understand how disposal sites work. You do have to have some sort of insurance policy in place just in case something was going to go wrong.
Right.
And if you are going to pull one or two guys in and use them regularly, you are going to need a workman's comp policy, and that makes it very, very difficult overhead wise to run the business. But if you do the majority of the work yourself, have one or two guys that you have come in here and there, you can avoid that. I love junk removal. Again, I think it's a great place for any entrepreneur to kind of get started and get their feet wet, learning how to solve problems and make money. That in construction, demolition.
I mean, to add to that, I mean, how many times have you guys have been like, at home and you dump something outside and some guy drove by with a pickup truck and just took it away? So guys are doing that right now on a small scale.
Oh,
I mean, I've had, a computer or a table or whatever, and guys have drove by and put it back in the truck, and next thing you know, they bring it to a dump site and they're getting money for it.
Yep.
I mean, those guys are doing that. So, I mean, you can actually explain to people how they can do it legally and make money off of it. These guys are making small pennies, but people are doing it all the time. So junk removal has always been around.
It's always been around. It's been commercialized a lot, probably in the last 15, 20 years, but even before that, there have been men that have been doing junk removal, since the beginning of time.
I think we've all done it to some degree.
And you know what? And if you actually do research, it's actually junk removal came before trash collection, because back in the day they didn't have organized trash companies pulling stuff out. It was the old man Sam who would come by your house and take care of your junk and do what he would do. So Uber, junk removal, and then this is more along your lane. I don't want to just go into buying and selling sneakers, but reselling. Reselling is becoming a huge market, especially with the ability to sell things online. So we know of a company where there's a dude who just in the last 2 years, he worked for Foot Action, but on the side he was selling vintage clothing. He would go to thrift stores, he would do some shopping, find some stuff that he knew was popular, was hot in particular markets. We live in Massachusetts, but he was doing his research as to what's hot in southern Mass and in Asian countries and stuff like that. Now he's been able to create a very, very strong brand and market for himself just by doing something that he loves. He finds the apparel that he enjoys and that he likes. He's developed an online store, and now he's moving those products, and he's making his couple of $100. I don't know how much he's making, but he's making his money. I think reselling is very, very it's very attractive. But I also think that it's a game that you do have to learn and get some education.
Yeah, I mean, to add to that, I mean, right now, there's so many platforms for reselling. I mean, anything. I mean, you have the marketplace, you have OfferUp, you got Facebook, you got Twitter, Instagram. The biggest thing with reselling anything is finding the value in it and finding somebody who wants to buy it.
Right.
And I mean, nowadays, everybody has a phone or some type of like laptop, computer, whatever the case may be. But I mean, that's probably stuff in your house that you might, think is trash or whatever. You might clean it up and put it online, and you could sell it for whatever amount of money. There's value in everything, and that's where we at with the value part of it. I mean, believe it or not, there's some things I've seen that's sold that I wouldn't even want to buy it, but I'm like, wow, I should have kept it because it's worth that much money, and I threw it away. Like old hats or old jeans, whatever.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So you say it's definitely a market for it.
Agreed.
So reselling and buying and selling, it's there. Especially right now in this time, because everybody's home. You're doing spring cleaning or you're bored, just go through your stuff and say, hey, listen, I got some stuff I can't use. Try it, put it on Marketplace. You'll be surprised how much stuff you can sell. Even if it's stuff that you want to just get money back that you don't use or extra money now because of what's going on.
Yeah.
It's there, bro.
And the whole thing is, even we know right now there's issues with the market and there's issues with making sales because of what's going on. But now is the time to start building habits. And that's what drives me nuts, is when somebody goes, oh, I would do this, and I'll do it as soon as I learn, how to do this and do that. It's like, dude, you have to get started. You have to go right away, because as you start to grow and as you start to develop a brand, a business, and people start to know who you are, that's how you're going to what's the word I'm looking for? That's how you're going to polish off your business. So you're going to polish off your brand by making mistakes, by taking the criticism, by allowing somebody to say, hey, you didn't do this right, and then making the adjustments. If you never get started, if you wait for everything to be perfect or for you to know everything, you're never going to get started. That's just the bottom line. There's not one business that I've started where I knew everything. There's some business I jumped into and I knew very, very little, and I had to develop and grow as I went along.
I mean, you just made a good point. There's never going to be a perfect time to start anything.
Never.
I mean, if you keep thinking that way, you're never going to start. Because in our own head, we always have everything lined up. Something's going to come up and it's going to mess up your whole situation. So you might have it set up, I'm going to start August 1st. Well, guess what? August 1st, we might be getting back into sports. So people might be looking at sports now and forgetting about something. Start now. The best time to start is now. You're going to make mistakes. Things are going to happen. But if you don't start now, you never will. There's never going to be a perfect time to do anything in life. You know what I mean? And don't look back on this like, oh, well, I had this time at home and the corona was here and now is the best time to do it. Because some people have, I'm not going to say all the time in the world, but some people have a lot of time on their hands. And they're getting bored and they're starting to do things they would normally do. But like Josh said, get into a habit of doing things now so when this corona breaks, then you're into that habit. You'll be doing it all the time.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I'm lucky enough where I'm still working, but I'm still doing things after work. You know what I mean? Some people are home and they're like, I'm bored. I want to go out. I want to do this. Hone your skills. Find something. Go online. Do some research. Read some books. Now is the best time to get this because the money's there. You just got to know how to get it. You know what I mean?
Next is selling custom products. This is a category that really excites me. I love it when I come across a person who has a gift and is able to create something and then deliver it out to other people.
Right.
Perfect example of this is I have a friend now who just opened a, just started on Facebook, just releasing her artwork.
Right.
She does phenomenal artwork. She's been doing it for a long time. And now that she's home, she's got more time on her hands, exactly like you said.
Right.
She's starting to, release it out there in the world and starting to make it public. I think it's great. I think it's wonderful when you're able to share your gift with the world, and there's so many platforms nowadays to do it. My caution is when you start selling custom products, I would not be so much focused on how much you're selling your product for. Don't devalue what you're doing because it is custom. Don't overvalue it. Figure out what fair market value is for whatever it is you're doing. Put it out there. Offer a few sales. Don't be afraid to give a little bit away for free. But don't get in the habit of just giving your stuff away or selling it for less than market value in order to just to say that you're selling something. Your custom work, your custom product is, has your heart and soul in it. So don't just give it away. Make sure you find a fair market value for whatever that product is and sell it for that. If you want to give a friends and family discount, fine. If you want to do, a promotion and donate all proceeds, all profits to charity, I think that's great. But just be very, very cautious with your pricing and don't be afraid to make mistakes. Build the Etsy stores, do the Facebook pages, try out the one-page websites, like dive deep into it and make it a project, make it fun. So that way it's not a focus of, I just got to make money, I got to make money. It's a learning process that will pay you much more in the long run if you do it that way than if you're just like, I got to make money. So selling custom products, I'm a huge fan of that. You got anything for it?
No, I do actually because I've been in this in this world before. You know what I mean? I've done some custom things over the years, and it's funny because when something's custom, people tend to try to devalue it. You know what I'm saying? Because it's custom.
Which should be the exact opposite. This is handmade, one of a kind.
I agree, and just quick backstory behind that. I was doing some custom T-shirts for some family down south, and like you said, the friends and family discount. These same people will go in the store and spend hundreds of bucks on a polo shirt,
right?
But wouldn't spend $20 on a custom one of a kind T-shirt, and it's still the same material,
right?
And this is made for them. I was making these one-offs for these people, and they were still trying to get a discount. But they'll run into the store because it wasn't Polo or Nike. And I get it. It's not a big box, but you should appreciate a one-off better because somebody's putting more work into it for you. You know what I mean? So don't devalue your product. Like, I'm just going to say a quote from Jay-Z, set your price and live your life.
Yeah.
No matter what happens. People are going to buy it if they want it, regardless if it's a custom or not. But don't devalue your product because people think it's not as good because it's custom. It's actually better, like Josh said, because you're putting everything behind it. You're putting thought behind it, blood, sweat, and tears. So if it's custom and if it's supportive, I'm going to support it
all day.
You know what I mean?
We're a huge fan of supporting local. I don't even call it local businesses, just local hustlers. I love it when you got that dude that's who's got an idea for a brand and just jumps in and just starts building.
Support the dream.
Yeah,
if your dream comes to life, I'm gonna definitely support it.
The key thing though is consistency. You have to be consistent with whatever you're doing. I'm gonna get more into that, but the next hustle that I want to talk about is selling, providing a service. So selling consulting. So I love this sector because I think that it's hugely overlooked by a lot of people. We have Jay, who is an expert on all things firearms. We have friends that know construction inside and out. We have people, just like the woman that I was talking about before, that she's an artist and she's been doing this since she was 5 years old. So she has a lot of knowledge. There's a lot of knowledge that we have that we take for granted. A lot of our experiences have taught us life lessons that if you learn how to structure it and build a framework around it, you can sell that as a product, as a consulting product. So what are some of the things that you know how to do that come to you easily? Some things that you've had 15, 25 years, 5 to 20 years experience in that you can teach. If you can learn how to create a framework and a structure behind that, you can actually sell that teaching. You can consult. You can use tools that the internet provides for you to train other people on how to become a better painter, how to become a better carpenter, how to become a better speaker. You can train somebody on how to write articles. There's so many different ways that you can teach. And right now, with the world being the way that it is, and this social distancing, online is the way to go. I think that it's important that people start to become more and more familiar with how the online world works and how you can monetize the knowledge and experience that you already have in order to make money and feed your families.
There's a lot of content out there.
There
I
is.
must say that. I mean, as far as coaching, as far as just advertising, as far as businesses in general, online right now, it's crazy because of what's going on. Things have moved tenfold. I mean, there's actually comedians out there actually doing online content now because they can't do stand-up.
Right.
Everybody's shifting and everybody's making those moves that way because they have to. You know what I'm saying? And like you said, I mean, right now, now's the time. If you have some type of skill set or you're educated in certain backgrounds, you can use that and make, a little bit of money or a ton of money. It's really up to you.
Right.
You know what I mean? Your time, how much effort you put into it, whatever it may be. But now's the time to do it because when this is over, it's going to be a new world order. People are going to be doing this full time because people are going to find a niche and say, oh, I can do this now.
Right.
And they're not going to go back to work, or they might just do it more, you know what I'm saying? Because everything is trending that way. So now's the time to jump on that bandwagon. Everything always trends, and right now everything is going online. People are training people online now, so gyms might stay closed. You could turn on your phone right now and get an app, a meal prep. You can get all that done on your phone, on your computer. You know what I mean?
Exactly right.
So that's kind of the way we're going now. And while people are afraid to leave the house, so that's gonna be you got to do something. You know what I mean? So.
And that's exactly the point. That's the reason why we wanted to have this podcast now. The timing was right for it. I wanted to talk about, so me and Lawrence, we run a mastermind, and in the mastermind, one of the gentlemen involved brought up such a great point. Not a great point, it was an article that he brought up about Kellogg's cornflakes. Yeah, Rice Krispies, Snap Crackle Pop, Kellogg's. Yep. So during the time of the Depression, Kellogg's saw an opportunity to double down on their marketing and their advertising and get better. And because they did that, they came out of the Depression as the number one brand in their category. Why? Because when everybody else was trying to, just buckle in for the ride, and they weren't really focused on, the after, Kellogg's was doubling down, and they were getting prepared for, okay, we know that this is going to end. Where do we want to be when this comes to an end? And I think it's such a great article because I think that it's a message that needs to be sent to every single individual that wants more out of life than what they currently have. We do know that this is going to come to an end. How it ends, we don't know. What it looks like on the side, nobody's 100% sure, but the tide will change, and And when it does, what do you want to look like? Where do you want to be? Do you want to be starting all over again, or do you want to come out, emerge, a lighter, fitter, faster, stronger, smarter, more financially in control person? And if you want to be the latter, if that's what you want to be, it starts with a lot of these things. It starts with developing some sort of way to generate extra income. Not so much for the income, but for the ability to learn something and for the ability to really test yourself. Because any of these things that you do right here, whether it's Uber, junk removal, developing an online business, anything you do, it's going to take time to really start generating money. Maybe not so much Uber. Uber, you can kind of get in, you can start making money right away. But even with that, after fuel and everything that you go through, it's not as much money as you think, but it is extra money. It's equivalent to having a part-time job, what it really comes down to. But the benefit is learning how to manage your time, learning how to manage your own expenses, and learning how to market and advertise and having sales conversations. And I think that's what's really important in all this. You can go to college and you can pay tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of dollars to get an education, or you can start your own little side hustle and really dedicate some time to it. It doesn't have to be a lot, and get paid to get the education that you need to go out there and excel in life.
I mean, I'm going to add quick to that because right now, because of what's going on, a lot of people are at an even playing field because people are home. Yeah. So, like I said, that time that you have now, you can't make an excuse saying, oh, I can't do it because I'm at work or I don't have time because of the kids. Right now, everybody's home. So right now, you're on the even playing field because right now there's no sports. So guys in the NBA are home, movie stars are home, the average Joe's home. So everybody's home. So there's no excuses now. Outside the essential workers, people are home every day. So once you crack up that laptop or do some reading, you can get better right now. Because right now, and a lot of people are dependent upon that stimulus package. Everybody's waiting for their money to come in. But you can create your own wealth in the meantime. So imagine you doing that now. You're researching, you're getting better with yourself. That money comes in. Now you have extra money.
Right.
And we all know right now people are saying, oh, money, money, money. But guess what? That's what's ruling the world right now. And if the more able you are to make money, the more valuable you are to yourself and your family.
Absolutely.
At the end of the day, that's what it comes down to.
Yeah, your ability to create income.
And whatever type of income that may be. And it might be something else outside of what we talked about today. You might have an idea that, we didn't even discuss. But guess what? If you have that idea, don't be afraid to share it.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because that's the problem now. People don't want to share the information because they're afraid of somebody taking it and running with it. But you know what? If you learn it, you can apply it.
And let them try to run with it. Because it's not as easy as everybody thinks.
It's not.
Running a business or even trying to create something on the side, it's not a simple thing. It takes a lot of work and it takes a lot of support. And sometimes the support doesn't come from your friends or family. Most of the time it doesn't. Usually they're trying to talk some sort of their idea of common sense into you, and it's usually not that good. So I mean, if you are considering developing some sort of income generating hustle in any way, shape, or form, whether it's starting a business or moonlighting, creating something on the side, reach out to us. That's one of the things that we do. We enjoy helping people generate their own money. There's no greater blessing than being able to see somebody take their talents and turn that into income for their family. And that's one of the things that we love doing. It's one of the things that we've done for ourselves, we've done for other people. So we're here for you in any way, shape, or form. You know what I mean? All our information is in the bottom. You know what I mean? So reach out to us. Make sure you click that subscribe button and give a thumbs up if you like the video. We appreciate your time. We out. Peace.
Peace.